All right, we're here with the second video of the day. We're going to talk about kind of Joe Biden and a few other politicians that are just being awful at the moment. Just being awful. Up first, we got Biden says in video he has created a voter fraud organization. It was extensive and inclusive. Now, I'm sure he meant to say voter fraud. Actually, I don't know what he said. He was reading it off a piece of paper. So he was literally reading, he said, most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in history. And he was just reading it off a piece of paper. So whoever wrote that piece of paper is an idiot. And Joe Biden is more of an idiot for continuing to read it instead of being like, oh, this is actually wrong. Maybe we should redo this. Oh boy, guys. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. We got Democratic nominee Joe Biden said his team has created the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics in a recent video. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics, Biden said in the video. Thanks for being redundant as all hell, Fox. Republicans were quick to the point out his misspoken claim. Biden admits to voter fraud. Joe Biden brags about having the most extensive voter fraud organization in history. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany wrote on Twitter on Saturday. Biden may have been referring to his campaign's massive election protection program, which includes former Attorney General Eric Holder and hundreds of other lawyers in preparation for a legal battle in the event of a contested election, which we know it's going to happen. Both sides have already lawyered up. The former vice president's campaign told Fox News that over the past several months, they have created the largest election protection program in presidential campaign history, involving integrated legal, communications, and political strategies for what they anticipate to be an unprecedented election. Biden has a history of misstatements, including saying he was running for the Senate in mid-October and claiming 200 million Americans have died of coronavirus in mid-September, and President Trump has pulled no punches in criticizing him. Joe also said yesterday he's running for the U.S. Senate again and totally forgot where he was. Wrong state. Trump wrote on Twitter on October 13th. Joe has never been a nice or kind guy, so it's easier to find this obvious and repeated and rapidly getting worse dementia. Unacceptable for USA. That was from Trump, about almost 2 weeks ago now. And yeah, I mean, Biden just keeps saying some of the craziest stuff. I mean, he apparently thought, Trump was Abraham Lincoln or, Abraham Lincoln was in the room or something and, claiming he's the most racist president ever. It's like, what? In modern history. I shouldn't say ever, I guess. He said in modern history, which is like recent, apparently. So it just, I don't even know. That might just make it worse. We got from the Gateway Pundit, Joe Biden insults Pennsylvanians who don't support him, calls them chumps as he coughs into his hand. 77-year-old Joe Biden hit the campaign trail with his wife Jill on Saturday and delivered remarks in Bristol, Pennsylvania. You can see there's a bit of bias because they had said Handler there. At one point, Joe aimlessly wandered behind his wife Jill as she spoke to a parking lot full of honking cars. Then this happened. Joe Biden insulted Pennsylvanians who don't support him and called them chumps as he coughed into his hand. Apparently, Pennsylvanians who don't want their state to be decimated under a Biden admin that will shut down the U.S. oil industry are chumps. It's coming from the Trump war room. And then I guess he coughed in his hand. So, is coronavirus a thing? Maybe you shouldn't be coughing in your hand. Do you have coronavirus maybe there, Biden? Why are you coughing into your hand then? Maybe you should get tested for coronavirus. You probably got it now. See, we can be crazy too if we decide to just be insane. No, I'm sure you probably just got a regular cough and it's probably just a cold maybe. Or it's probably nothing. But you know what? You shouldn't be calling possible voters chumps. Or maybe you just don't want their vote. Maybe you're just done. Maybe you don't want to win this election. I don't know what's going through your mind, Biden. But then again, you can't even last, a full day on the campaign. You have to call a lid before noon, every other day at this point. Boy, you've had to have other people campaign. You had Obama campaign for you, your own wife, McCain's wife. You have all these other people trying to campaign for you instead. It's insane. It's just insanity. And to think that the polls are saying that you're winning. Yeah, okay. I believe that. Uh-huh. Yeah, that was sarcastic. All right, well, let's move over to Chicago. Chicago Mayor Lightfoot slams coronavirus lockdowns on businesses, but owners begin organizing a revolt. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot on Friday again began imposing draconian coronavirus lockdowns on the Windy City's beleaguered businesses, but owners are at last beginning to organize against the rules. Lightfoot's newest restrictions were scheduled to take effect on Friday and include a ban of indoor service for bars without a food license and curfews, ABC7 reported. As part of the new rules, bars without food license will need to stop indoor service again. All liquor sales at all establishments must end at 9 p.m. Wow, that's awful. Lightfoot also demanded non-essential businesses must close between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Businesses she deems essential will be allowed to operate as usual. Those businesses include grocery stores, pharmacies, and restaurants that serve as takeout. Lightfoot has also banned gatherings of more than 6 people, and she claims she will not allow any gatherings after 10 p.m. Wow, this is getting completely authoritarian. Yeah, that is draconian. This woman needs to go. She needs to be recalled like right now. It says, but some business owners are finally speaking out. The owners of Four Trays Tavern, for instance, threatened to stay open in defiance of Lightfoot's orders. I just figured the hell with closing up. I'll just stay open. Four Trays co-owner Paul Sang told ABC, give me my license money back. If you're going to raise my taxes and all that stuff and put me out of business, then, well, it's insane. It's more draining for my employees, said Colleen Flood, another Four Trays Tavern co-owner. That's what bothers me the most. Don't they think about the employees? How are they going to pay their bills? Other bar and restaurant owners in Illinois agree, and some are beginning to organize against Lightfoot and Illinois Democrat Governor J.B. Pritzker's renewed draconian lockdowns, Fox News reported. Key's Steak and Seafood in the Chicago suburb of Glendale Heights also threatened to ignore the lockdown orders. We are standing up for our freedom, and we will stay open. We have been in business for 80-plus years, and no one is going to tell us we can't live out the American dream, the establishment wrote on Facebook. The owners of DuPage County-based La Hacienda de los Fernandez are also sick and tired of the lockdowns. We have collectively decided to remain open at all 3 of our locations in DuPage County, the restaurant said on its Facebook page. It is time we take a stand for our freedom and our rights. Please support us and dine in. In addition, the Illinois Restaurant Association lambasted the lockdowns. Unless the state of Illinois takes a more reasonable approach to mitigation, thousands of restaurants are at risk of permanent closure. Is it IL? It's hard to tell if that's an I or an L after the first I. But anyways, President Sam Toa said in a Facebook video statement, closing restaurants for indoor service will result in the exact opposite of the intended impact of slowing the spread, as it drives people further into uncontrolled, unmonitored private gatherings where few safety precautions are in place. Yeah, this lady needs to go. Our governor needs to go. Like now, if they're just they're just locking us down even harder. And it's going to like these businesses they were just barely able to make it by like as it is. And that was after, they were just finally starting to come back from the lockdowns. They're just barely able to scrape by, and now you want to just shut them all down again and you're basically now just destroying the lives of millions of people. So thank you, Lori Lightfoot. Maybe these homeless people can, I don't want to necessarily be too mean and make fun of you, but I'm sorry. Maybe you can give some space on your forehead for homeless people to make encampment. Up next, we got from Daily Mail, Megyn Kelly joins the backlash against California Governor Newsom's Thanksgiving insanity that requires families to celebrate outside, wear masks when not eating, sit 6 feet apart, and no singing. What? So Megyn Kelly joined in on excoriating California Governor Gavin Newsom on Sunday for his extreme restrictive Thanksgiving guidelines, which include strong discouraging singing at the festivities this year in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. In a tweet posted Sunday morning, the former Fox News and NBC News host listed some of Newsom's Thanksgiving insanity. Must be held outside. Guests may use bathroom inside if sanitized. Mask on while not eating. Singing strongly discouraged. Max of 2 hours together. 6 feet mandated in all directions between all at table and otherwise. Kelly posted along with an article from Newsweek posted last week detailing the rules. Okay, so if you have like even 5 people, like how big of a house does Newsom think a regular citizen has? It can't be that big in order to put everybody 6 feet apart. Like, are you crazy? It says, as Thanksgiving approaches next month, Newsom and California Department of Public Health released safety guidelines they say must be observed for all private gatherings. Gatherings are defined as social situations that bring together people from different households at the same time in a single space or place. When people from different households mix, this increases the risk of transmission of COVID-19, CDPH said in a statement on the new rules. Social media users and public figures were quick to react to the Democratic governor's announcement on attempts to control how people celebrate the holiday. Comedian and Saturday Night Live veteran Rob Schneider took to Twitter earlier this month to insinuate that Newsom is trying to run California like a monarchy by imposing such stringent rules for individuals' personal and private gatherings on Thanksgiving. Yeah, he's essentially trying to control your very life at this point. You can't gather. You gotta listen to me. I'm the one that's gonna tell you what's right and wrong. So only listen to me like I'm the only moral authority here. And it's like, it sounds more like a dictator and authoritarian. I don't know if I want to listen to you, Gavin Newsom. If I go to California, I sure as hell won't listen to you. Won't listen to Nancy Pelosi either, because she's off her rocker. And speaking of Nancy Pelosi, we got from Politico, Pelosi to run for speaker again if Democrats keep the House. And she's thinking like she's probably not going to give up. She's like, oh yeah, I got this. You know, I'll be reelected. No one's going to vote me out because I cheat my whole way through. So, I guess she's like, okay, well, she'll run for the speaker again because she apparently thinks that she's already going to stay in the House. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if after this election, a lot of these Democrats just start getting recalled and, kicked out of their position. Because, boy, are you guys just making some of the most draconian rules. And these are coming from blue states. Blue states. And then the blue states become the most infected. Weird. I don't know. It's almost like these blue states are just lying and trying to be authoritarian. Whatever. I'm done with these Democrats at this point. They've gone so far left. You can't possibly, as a normal American person, citizen, whatever, it's so hard to think anything they say is truth. Because all I hear is, I want to be in power. I'm going to be in power. So I'm going to impose these rules on you because I love being in power. Yeah, I think there's a reason why the Five Finger Death Punch music video pretty much shows Nancy. It's pretty much a version of Nancy Pelosi. Because that's what she wants to be. Just saying. Anyways, I'll leave it there. It's pretty much my videos for today. So I'll see you then tomorrow. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.